Welcome to another edition of Pain and a Purpose. I'm your host, Darren Bedford, where we talk about grief and the many aspects of it. Today, I'm going to talk to a mother of a child, mother of someone who lost their child to senseless gun violence in Oakland. And it's not going to be a heavy conversation, but it's going to be a tough one. And at Pain and the Purpose, we like to talk about the aspects from personal experiences, not from the technical aspects of being a therapist or anything, but just real life lived experiences and give you, the audience, a real life lesson that you can take just in case you ever end up in this situation. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce Miss Tina Harris. How you doing?
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Like we've been talking off camera, and so I know that it was kind of challenging, and it was like you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, right. I didn't. I was nervous, little anxiety and everything, but I was with it.
Yeah. So uh, now we know that we both lost kids in the streets of Oakland, and this is not a podcast to like traumatize you or make you relive that night. This is a podcast uh, surrounded around healing and the things that we've done after the transition of our children to help us heal or at least begin to try to get back to a new normal, because losing a child would rock your foundation to a point where it's unimaginable. And a lot of people out there try to get us to act normal or to like move on. Like I've heard move on so long. And we know that that's not possible. So the first question is, what is a way that you turned this extreme pain into a purpose?
The first thing I just prayed to God for strength, and I received it. I received it. Then I tried to do things that remind me of Jamal, things that he liked doing. So I started journaling down different recipes that he would, because he loved to cook. So I'm like, okay, and he wanted a food truck. So it was like, let me put these recipes together. And so hopefully one day that vision, we could make that come true,
No,
you
we're not
know?
gonna say hopefully. We're gonna say that that's gonna come true. Like we just have to be intentional about that, right?
That's
And
right.
so tell the world your son's full name. So when they see this podcast episode, they have to say his name.
Thank you for asking that. Jamal Ramon Watkins Sr.
And so like this is I like to say I don't live in memory of my child. I live in honor of my child. Right. And so putting together that food truck would definitely be in his honor, because I can just imagine his face going to be on the side of that. Right.
Right.
And so that's one way that you will honor your child. What is uh, like a tangible strategy for a young parent or another parent that may be going through this and then they beginning phase of their journey?
I would tell them to try to just find something that they love to do prior, before, the loss of a loved one. And like for me, water, me being by water,
Oh yeah,
give me
that's that.
peace
That's that.
and
That's that.
serenity,
That tranquility that's unmatched.
Yes. So that's very peaceful for me, and I try to surround myself around positive people that help me with my journey. The people who have walked in these shoes before me, because they have a lot for me to learn.
And that's actually like one of the steps of I surround my people with I surround myself with a bunch of good people, and some of them haven't experienced it yet, but they're just really great people, and they know how to support someone. So finding your support, finding your people that you know, love, and trust that you can go to when you're going through this, it definitely helps. Most definitely. So we went over one thing that you're going to do in honor of him, and that's the food truck. And the second thing is that you surround yourself with positive people. Give us something else. Like, tell us a little bit more.
And I just was thinking about the kids. Jamal left behind 4 sons. And I was just thinking about how the kids are affected by this. And we try to find ways to have happier moments for the adults, but you also have to think about the kids who lost their parents. And we sometimes forget about the pain that they go through. And so I just want to give back to them. So, like through the summertime, we said that we'll put together not like a boys and girls club, but just reach out to some of the parents and like see what the kids need. Probably get them bikes or something, help them with like school clothes, some things to books or different things like that that the kids will like.
And I'm glad that you mentioned the children, because the children are like uh, a lost piece of this puzzle. A lot of people don't focus on the children. And so
Correct.
my daughter also left a 4-year-old behind. And it breaks me when he comes in and he goes to his mom's picture and point and say, "Mommy," right? So
Yeah.
what is a tangible tool that you can give someone to help them help the child process it? And then I'll tell you what I do with my grandson.
Well, we have two that's oldest. Our oldest grandson will be 15 in July. And so he understands this deaf a little bit more than the younger ones, right? So we just sit down and we talk to all of them and let them express themselves, what they're going through. And sometimes they may want to go visit their father. And then our third grandson, he loves to draw. He loves to draw, and he tells his story about his father through drawing.
Okay, so what? And I didn't do it, but my kid's mother, uh, they took they took my daughter's voice to build a bear, put her voice inside the bear. So now when my grandson, he walks around with his bear, and when he wants to hear his mom's voice, he just squeezes it, and that gives him some type of solace, at least in the moment, and it calms him down. Plus, my grandson is autistic, so
Okay.
that was very helpful for us.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And so this grief journey is lifelong, and this is our last act of love towards our children. So we have to be really intentional on maintaining, making sure that they names stay alive. And so I believe the food truck will bring you both not only happiness, but it will create like a sense of peace as well, just to know that you're doing something in his honor. And so if we could help the audience, in which I believe that we did, in that short amount of time. Like that was all that needed to be said in this moment. Like we gave them some tangible tools that they can actually take and use. And and so I thank you for actually coming and sitting down and giving us your time. Is there anything else that you want to say about your son Jamal? Like, what did he like to do?
First, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come and talk about my son, Jamal Ramon Watkins Sr. Jamal was a loving person, not just because that's my son, but he was a loving person that always put a smile on somebody's face. That when, if you having a bad day, um, you'll hear many people will speak and say that, oh, we call Maul and he uplift our day. You know, he loved to cook. He loved spending time with his kids. He was a hard worker and he loved to dance. He
Yeah, I
loved
about
to
to say,
party.
do it all.
And so, yes, do it all.
Do it all more.
I don't really put the Mac Mall in there, but that's what they would say. But I just say do it all, right?
Yeah, just do it all more, and just keep honoring him, because like I personally knew him and he was a good dude, right? So, me personally, not understanding the grief journey before I had to come on this side of the fence. But since I've been on this side of the fence, I've been really, really like deep diving into the grief journey and the different, I want to say, strategies that we can use to process our grief. And I think talking about it with people that you actually know, love, and trust, that give you a safe space. I think that's probably one of the best therapeutic things you can do, especially when you get a chance to talk about your loved one, your son Jamal, in a positive light. And and so for that, I just thank you for coming out.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And so this gonna conclude this episode of Pain and a Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Darren Bedford. This is Tina Harris. And a final word. If you're experiencing this level of grief, don't listen to the people that don't align with your internal beliefs. You have the right to believe and feel however you see fit in the moment. Now, this grief process come with anger, so I wouldn't recommend you acting in a detrimental way with your anger. If you could process that in a positive way, find that avenue to do it, but do not deny yourself the right to. I tell people, you have the right to feel angry, and you have the right to feel happy. So learn to laugh without feeling guilty, and learn to cry without feeling weak. And so with that being said, I want y'all to have a blessed and stress-free day, because you definitely deserve it. I love you. Peace.